In our backyard is a conservative whose district he is seeking to replace Ron Paul. Follow Ron Paul in District 14. His district stretches from Pearland over to Beaumont in Port Arthur. He is the most conservative member of the Texas House of Representatives. He and his wife started their air conditioning business 30 years ago, and yes, he and his wife built it. They built this business. He understands why we have to have a limited government, why we have to get control of the spending, why we have to solve the entitlements, why we have to give back power to you. He gets it all the way, but he's in a fight for his life against a career Washington Democrat in a district that we have to win on November 6th, or Nancy Pelosi takes a step closer to that gavel. I want you to meet a good friend, a good constitutional conservative, and someone we need to make sure is the next congressman from the 14th District of Texas. Please welcome Randy Weber.
Well, good afternoon, Conroe. Y'all ready for a change November the 6th? Well, with apologies to the president, let's use that phrase, hope and change, and I hope we change his address. Let's send him packing. My name is Randy Weber. I am running for Congressional District 14. That's Gulf Coast counties of Brazoria County, Galveston County, and Jefferson County. Currently a Texas State Representative. Out of 150 of us, my very first term in the legislature, I got the #1 conservative rating. Well, give yourselves a hand. I simply reflected our values. And I'll tell you that the people in my district are tired of all the liberalism, tired of the socialism. You know, Ronald Reagan once said that socialism only works in two places: heaven, where they don't need it, and hell, where they've already got it. I am running for District 14. I appreciate my good friend Kevin letting me come up here today and speak to you on behalf of our race. My wife, Brenda Gale, is here with me. We've been married 36 years. Actually, it will be 36 years, our anniversary on November the 6th, Election Day. 3 kids, 4 grandkids. Yes, I do own an air conditioning company. We built it from scratch, and yes, I did build it. 59 years old, I've been involved in politics since Reagan ran for re-election. I have never seen a government and administration that is so anti-business and so anti our values. Are y'all with me? Absolutely. You know, I'm going to say the title of my remarks is Obama's MIA. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, I don't necessarily mean missing in action, although he seems to be missing in action on matters of foreign policy. Witness the Libya problem we had where we lost 4 brave Americans. He seems to be missing in action when it comes to making a difference, promoting business as opposed to tearing it down. But my remarks are Obama's misery in America, MIA. Folks, we're going to lose our country if we don't turn this thing around. Y'all with me? Here's the reason I'm calling it MIA, misery in America. Obama believes that government is the answer. We all know that government is not the answer. Government needs to get out of the way. You know, Thomas Paine said back in the 1700s that government at its best is a necessary evil, and at its worst, an intolerable one. And I'm here to tell you that the government we've got in power, especially in the White House, the administration, folks, is intolerable. Y'all with me? Obama believes that the government is the answer. Not only does he believe that, but he believes that he should sue sovereign states like Arizona for protecting their own border, making their own laws, that he should bypass the judicial system, one of the 3 checks and balances in our government. I'm 59 years old. I've never seen a president that sues states at the drop of a hat. Fortunately, we've got our great Attorney General Greg Abbott with us here in Texas. Give him a hand. He doesn't stand for it, not in Texas. Obama believes in bypassing not just the courts, but even Congress. Even though the budget he submitted did not receive one single vote in the House of Representatives or in the Senate, he bypasses Congress by going around them and appointing czars and doing things with executive order. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not okay with that. How about y'all? He passed Obamacare, him and Nancy Pelosi, over the hue and cry of 70% of Americans against our wishes. And my good friend Kevin Brady alluded to that. Oh, remember Pelosi's infamous remarks, we've got to pass the bill to see what's in it? Well, they passed it. We see what's in it. No thank you, Mr. President. No thank you, Nancy Pelosi. I aim to repeal Obamacare once in Congress. We've got a president that not only bypasses the courts, bypasses Congress, thinks the government is the answer, but goes around the world apologizing for American exceptionalism. I'm so tired of that. He's missing in action, and we've got misery in America because of his foreign policy. He says that somehow the murders in Libya were a bump in the road, to use his words, and not the optimal. You heard those remarks he made, because of a film someone made in America. What about that? Is so ludicrous. That's an excuse from the executive, the complainer-in-chief himself. And I'm tired of it. How about y'all? His foreign policy is to sit down and talk with the terrorists in Iran, but to disrespect Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel and go on the David Letterman show. You know what? I bet he's got great ratings with David Letterman, but he stinks at foreign policy, in my opinion. Can I get a witness? He believes that he should reduce the military spending at every turn, even though candidate Obama, when he was running in 2008, said that for there to be $6 trillion worth of debt that Bush was overseeing was unpatriotic. Well, Mr. President, what about the $16 trillion worth of debt we've got now? It is unbelievable and unpatriotic. He believes he should insult the business community, more of his misery in America. As Kevin said, if you own a business, you didn't build that. Gosh, I couldn't believe when he said that. That's an insult to the businesses of America that employ 70% of our citizens. Not only does he insult the business community, in Texas, he has shut down oil and drilling out in the Gulf, and that directly impacts your state, and I'm tired of it, and we need to take him to task for that. Have you had enough yet? Have maybe y'all seen that sticker with George Bush's picture that says, "Had enough yet?" or "Miss me yet?" My gosh, I can't believe that we've had 4 years of this guy in office. He believes that in his America, more misery in America is to give millions, if not billions of dollars to companies like Solyndra, bail out the car people like Kevin alluded to, the big banks with yours and my tax dollars. Let's give away money so that he can buy votes. That's part of Obama's misery in America. And let me just tell you, equally bad in my opinion is Barack Hussein Obama's demonizing of Mitt Romney's success. I'm so tired of that, I could puke. By the way, did y'all enjoy those debates? You know, there's a term for Barack Obama, but I don't believe there's going to be a second one. He believes in his America, he ought to declare war on the family, particularly the unborn. Abort unborn children and use taxpayers to do it. Now, in Texas, we defunded Planned Parenthood, $64 million. I carried the First Amendment. No more taxpayer dollars for abortions in Texas. We need that in the United States Congress. He's declared war on the church, his part of his misery in America, making the church do things that run contrary to our beliefs and our consciences. He's declared war on the very religious liberties and freedoms that are foundational to our constitutional, and I'm tired of it. If I have my way when I get up there, he won't have a prayer. Well, very quickly on my race, my opponent, Kevin alluded to him in my congressional race, spent 5 terms in Congress. Before redistricting, he's actually run in 2 different districts. This is the 3rd district he's run for. He's been fired twice by the voters. He can't take a hint. He endorsed Barack Obama in 2008. He voted for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker of the House, and quite frankly, we don't need either one of them back. My good friend, your great Congressman, Kevin Brady, has been helping us, making sure that we're on track to kick these socialists out of Congress and out of the White House. You know, Kevin told you that we built an air conditioning company from scratch starting in 1981. Of course, Brenda's a school teacher. She works for a living so she can support my political habit. She's taught 4th grade for 25 years. We are working people just like you. We get it. We understand. We have to operate on the budget both at home and in our business. And it's time that people understood that in Congress. Your great Congressman, my friend Kevin Brady, does. Thank him for helping. We'd appreciate y'all's help. Let me bring Kevin Brady back up.
Randy, that's a good guy, isn't it? Look, I'll tell you, I need more fighters like Randy in Washington, and you can help, and I'm going to ask you to. I'm going to ask you to think about your friends or family or coworkers who live down in Pearland or Clear Lake or over in Beaumont area, and ask you to contact them, email them, phone them, and just get them to the polls. Get them to the polls. Secondly, go to his website. If you've got $5, if you've got $10, help him. Because his Washington Democrat opponent's got $400,000 in the bank. He's going to pour it on him the last 2 weeks. Then finally, next Saturday, Julie, our office, others, conservatives are joining together. We're going to host a bus. We're going to take volunteers from here in Montgomery County by bus down to Randy's district. We're going to help them go door to door to identify those who want a different country than the one we've got under this president. We'd like your help. If you'd go this week to the Tea Party Patriots PAC website, check for the details. We'd love to have your help. Randy needs your help. And truth of the matter is, when we wake up on Wednesday, November 6th, 7th, we want to make sure Nancy Pelosi is as disappointed as we can possibly make her.